Episode 19.
Yeah.
20 is going to be a big number, right?
I assume that I will be on 20.
Yeah, let's hope the news cycle is good enough for episode 20.
What happened last week? We had so much fun last week, but I don't feel that the Swifties came after us. Maybe we should have just gone harder against the Swifties.
No.
No.
We're not in the business to do that.
We're not instigating that kind of
exactly
reaction on our channel.
Exactly.
Says
But
you.
But
We
I
just
guess we
look
could
to entertain.
instigate some reaction from you on certain things.
We don't need that sort of negativity. I think.
Oh, we'll
Chance
see.
doesn't believe
We'll
it.
see what happens.
Chance doesn't believe in it. Look, episode 19, we're rocking at it. The year is close to ending. I think it is. I feel like once you go past halfway into the year, it goes quick.
It's all a blur. Yeah. Well, once we'll reach our birthday month, we'll see how it goes.
That's it.
So it's a weird statement to say. Like, just
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What, it's kind of like, oh, we're in October now. It's near Halloween. And then all of a sudden, it's our
Christmas.
birthdays. And then it's, Merry Christmas.
We
And
need to do
like-
what are we going to do in a Halloween episode? We should dress up for a Halloween episode.
All right. Well, we have to start planning that now.
Yeah, we need to start planning that.
unbelievable.
Halloween themed episode. Let's begin. We do have things to talk about across business, entertainment, and sports. You're right
Oh, we've
there.
got a widespread this time around again.
We've got
Yeah.
a little bit more
In comparison to last week.
variety. What do we have, Kat? What's the first topic we're going to talk about?
All right. Let's start it off in America, especially with a particular trial that has taken some of the headlines.
Yes.
Why
Look,
are you saluting with but also pew pew? Like, what's...
because this trial is going to be pew pew. Have you heard of Sam Bankman-Fried? That's a yes. Okay, that's definitely a yes.
Is this the guy
crazy hair.
with the crypto?
Yes, the
that
crypto guy, the crypto guy. So-
Okay. It's vaguely familiar because when you're with somebody, when you live with
That's
somebody,
a crypto, bro.
Okay, here we go.
Up, we got
I
it.
did
Dogecoin. You put all your money in Dogecoin.
hodl. Do we still say that hodl? I don't know.
Shiba coin.
But when
Shiba coin.
you live with somebody who is into this type of stuff.
What, making capitalism, making money. Yes.
Here we go. And you hear these random dudes that, it's just like the bros be frothing over, be like, that's who I want to be. I want to be
Some of
somebody.
the ladies were frothing
I want
over
to be
him too.
somebody who's corrupt and and lying to the good people.
Okay.
You
all
know?
right, all right.
I don't
you know
know.
what? There's just a lot of unseen anger management issues there that we obviously need to unpack in a different episode of a podcast. But let's
I'm
talk.
not wrong though, right?
Let's talk
Like,
about.
You're not wrong.
Okay, Sam
why is
Bankman-Fried.
he gaslighting me, guys? What's going on? I don't know.
So the trial for Sam Bankman-Fried started this week, and this is going to be up there in terms of for business fraud, probably like one of the biggest trials we've ever seen
See?
in a while. Okay, so
Bad people.
So just to zoom back,
Anger management.
just to zoom back and
I'm
recount
not letting
what's
that
exactly
go, guys.
happened.
I'm not letting
So
it
who
go.
is Sam Bankman-Fried? Well, he is the former CEO and owner of crypto exchange FTX. In 2022, FTX went into bankruptcies after users went on a tear, withdrawing their funds after information was released about, shady dealings in their balance sheets. And here we go. Like hundreds of millions of dollars were lost by people, consumers. And I don't know if you recall back in the day, it was only last year. FTX was huge. They had Tom Brady, they had Shaquille O'Neal, they had Steph Curry. Do you recall seeing some of those ads in Super Bowl? They had that Super Bowl ad. Like
I just remember that for some stupid reason, the Matt Damon one is in my
Yeah,
head.
I was about to
the Matt
say.
Damon.
That's all I remember.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know there's been quite an
Fortune
increase
favors
of...
the
The
brave.
brave. What a tagline. I'm just thinking it's Matt Damon.
Marketing.
Yeah.
I was like,
But yeah, there has been
Sorry,
an increase.
I knew
of
this was
vendors.
Matt Damon was actually crypto.com, not FTX.
Yeah, well, crypto.com is still around, right? Because
It is.
they do UFC. See? Look. Like my brain
Okay.
has
Exposure.
useless information because of this man.
Let's get
here.
back. Let's
Friggin-
zone back. I think FTX at the time was, I think, the second biggest exchange, cryptocurrency exchange. And the big thing about this is they advertised in the Super Bowl. They had the celebrities that I mentioned there, and a lot of consumers, like we're talking a lot, lost their money. Like we're talking in excess of millions. So people are really like seething that they've lost this amount of money. And because Sam Bankman-Fried last year during the whole process, or before obviously like it went bankrupt, was the darling of the crypto world. And when crypto was pumping, he was a success story. And the interesting thing about the character of Sam Bankman-Fried is he preached altruism. So he was kind of like a Robin Hood, where he was obviously pro-capitalism, but was outwardly saying that he was doing these things to give money back to the poor or the less needy, right?
Smells kind of fishy already. If you
Anyway,
don't
Bold
so-
claim.
It's like that nice guy facade thing where it's like, yeah, I'm a good guy. What are you talking about? There's underlying no bueno-ness there.
Well, it's interesting. Like I showed you like an interview about Sam Bankman-Fried, like when we were researching on this. And this was before all the allegations and all the bankruptcy for FTX. And we could see when he was talking about it, he was very nervous, right? He had like his legs were shaking and stuff like that. And like,
The signs were there, guys.
well, we kind of had a chat, and I said that like he presents as a quirky looking dude, right? He's not the most polished, well kept dude that you'd think, right? Like when you think of like businessmen, right?
It's like he never grew out of his like high school. No, not even like
Okay.
what's their primary school equivalent in the
Puberty.
elementary
Or
outfit,
middle school.
Big bright red shirt.
Oh, yeah, who doesn't love a bright red
Socks
shirt?
up for days, and like I think it was like New Balances, and I know the
New Balances are in. Okay,
I know New
are
Balance
in.
is in, but like it's just you need to have a certain riz to
Yeah.
be able to pull off the New Balance look.
I will say his riz was he was making millions of dollars for himself
Yeah,
and his
yeah,
clients.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it really doesn't matter. But anyway, let's zoom back. We're now in the trial, and because so many people have lost a lot of money, people are out for blood. And I think when you think about a trial case, especially in the US, this is as high profile as it gets, right? And you think about the jury selection, there's almost, how can juries not be tampered when this guy's face has been plastered everywhere and there's such strong feelings towards him, right? And we're going to go through, like, think of, I don't know, Boston Legal, your most famous, like,
What a show.
I'm just thinking, think of like the practice, whatever you're going to go
Suits.
back to Suits. But this to corporate law. But think of the scenes there. This is going to be real life that, because the amount of publicity and press, and I don't know how long this is going to extend at. But again, when you think of the government, I mean, the legal system is going to make like an example of him for sure. People have lost so much money, and like not just billionaires, like Joe Blows.
Everyday people.
I know people within my network that have lost money.
Everyday people are just aspiring to
have
be in the
lost
game,
money.
right? Yeah.
And the interesting thing is the celebrities have also gotten sued. The Shaquille O'Neals and the Tom Brady's, and these are big these are not small people, right?
Yeah.
There's actually small groups that are suing the celebrities for obviously misinformation and all that, because they know that to get the money from FTX might be an impossible task. And these are the stakes there. And I think it's going to be fascinating there, because he's basically walking into a trial where I think the likelihood of him getting any sort of leniency is just 0 to none.
Totally stacked against him.
It's totally stacked against it. I mean, the interesting thing is, like what they're going to try and decide and decipher is whether this was fraud on a massive, deliberate scale, or whether it was just mismanagement of funds, effectively. So I think it's stacked against him. And as we record this, I think we're the 3rd or 4th day in, and he's had people testify against him.
Yeah.
People that have worked with him. So it's not looking good for him. Interestingly enough, there have been charges that have not been brought in the legal proceedings where he actually used money, and the money that we're talking about, just to put it out there, for those who don't understand cryptocurrency and like, I'm losing the word, in exchange, users invest their money, think of it not as a bank, but they put their money to trade. So what needs to happen if it's regulated properly is that money that a user puts should not be touched at all, right? The only element of the money that's used is when a trade is triggered, right? So what was happening is Sam Bankman-Fried was using that money. So what happened is when consumers started, this is a very, like, it's much
a top level.
It's much more
version of
multi-layered
it,
than this. But once they found out that dodgy things were happening, they all withdraw their money at the same time. And because this money didn't exist, what happened was called a bank run. And a bank run happens, and this can happen to an actual bank as well, when people take their money out at the same time, and because you don't have the money, you're illiquid, you're bankrupt, because they had it in assets, which was the
Yeah.
FTT token. I'm not going to go into the specifics. There are other channels that can do a much better job explaining that. So the biggest thing that he is going to try and explain is that this was just negligence, which even if you say it's negligence or my practices of risk management weren't good, you're still stuffed.
It's like, I did bad, but it wasn't that bad.
But if it's outright fraud, which is the other thing, then it goes to a different level. And I think the punishments are going to be aligned accordingly. So I think, look, this is fascinating. Obviously, we'll be following it, because the other thing as well, and I talk about the whole Hollywood-esque reason for this, because I don't know how long it's going to go. They're going to drag it out. But because he has made donations to parties as well, there are murmurings. Not that these parties are going to go and try and help, but they're going to release different sort of information within the pool there, which is one just like ridiculous element if you think about it, because he's not actually getting charged for that, which he should be charged for that. There's a legal reason why. I don't understand, so I'm not going to try and explain it. That's number one. Number two, he's actually going to try and testify on the stand, right? So why that's a big deal, I don't know if you recall the legal shows, testifying on the stand when you are one prosecuted is actually a no-no. They don't want you to...
thinking of all of those scenes where there's like, I don't think this is a good idea, but this is my one and only chance.
It's a real thing, because if you think about it, you've seen the guy.
Yeah.
You've seen how he presents. Again,
There's so much evidence in all the media that he's done to present, and it's just like,
again,
when you're trying to figure out your alibi or whatever it is, and you've got all these possible conflicting proof points. Yeah.
It's gonna be fascinating.
He's gonna be shaking his leg a lot. That's what everyone needs to watch for.
What does it matter? Because I can't remember. Like, I don't know how it's gonna look. Like, are they gonna see his legs? Like,
No, they won't, because he'll be on the thing, but maybe they'll bug it. Maybe like, here I am. Like, here we go.
Well, what? Zoom cam?
Yeah.
You hear the audio of the shaking leg.
Yeah, get it behind the scenes. Yeah, instead of looking for a ghost something, it's like there was a rustling in the in the midst.
Can I say something? In 5 years' time, even less than that, this movie is gonna be made. It has to be made.
Okay, who's
I
gonna
got
play?
it.
Who's gonna play the guy?
Leonardo DiCaprio. He's already played Wolf of Wall Street. He just needs to put on weight. I don't know how he's gonna get the hair. Like, we used to,
It's curly.
I've got it. Super bad.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill looks like him. Jonah Hill's hair can look like him.
Well, he's shaved it now, and he's blonde
he can
and
grow
stuff
it.
like
And he's
that.
skinnier.
If you have the
Like,
curls, if he's been fat before, he can get there.
Do you think that would be a wise choice for him, considering the backlash that he's gotten recently too?
What backlash is Jonah Hill?
Basically, it's just
There are allegations.
yeah, gaslighting.
Well, you know what?
Boyfriend.
Well, you know what? Then
Like,
he'll get into character. He'll get into character.
Wow.
It'll kind of
Woof.
work.
Wow.
It'll kind of work. Method acting, or Shia LaBeouf is crazy enough to be Sam Bankman-Fried.
I guess.
Could work.
I just wanted to be somebody that's like
What? Like, not well known?
No, well known, but like, they're a good one. They're a good one, right? Like, Leo's too easy.
I think Leo is good because he did such a good job.
But also, how old is this guy?
This guy's 31.
Okay, nah.
Does he look 31 to you?
Leo's too old for that now.
It doesn't matter.
Nah,
CGI.
Too old.
All right, that's a different thing.
Touching onto a different topic altogether.
No, but like, this is interesting. This is generally going to be interesting. And again, when you think of...
It will be Timothy Chalamet.
The hell's that?
It will.
Yeah, if he just has to make his hair more big.
It will be Timothy Chalamet. Watch.
I'm trying to find out.
Watch.
Why? Because of the hair. I'm sorry, he's too pretty. He can't hide those.
Yeah, but you gotta make it like it's
not gonna have it.
To make for people to
I
be
think Jonah Hill.
interested.
I think Jonah Hill is in the sweet spot. Anyway, this is going to be fascinating just to follow this sort of trial. Again, when you think about like a trial like that, the onus, a jury can find people guilty just by looking at them and not liking the look of them, right? Like, what I mean is,
you could, all of your, like, even though you're supposed to base it on all evidence and
all evidence,
what has been presented, surely there's some unconscious bias there. And it's so, if the jury that's been selected has been predisposed to, or at least know a little bit about the guy, right? It'd be
hard. It almost makes me feel, in cases that are so high profile and so charged, I would be fascinated to see what is the percentage of like not guilties that come out of it, because it's like it feels like it's so lean towards one angle. You know what I mean?
The odds are stacked against.
Like
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
like there's nothing to be stacked against. He like they've lost millions of dollars for like consumers, right? So
Oh, but even for like, it's that little percentage that could be there. It's like, oh no, definitely not, obviously. But
it's fascinating. We'll definitely be looking, and I think the other thing is like for a lot of people that unless you lost a ton load of money, and there are people that lost like millions, in the millions, like at an individual sort of level. A lot of people have kind of tried to forget about it. Like
Yeah,
that
it's-
loss,
it's 'cause
like
it's
it's
trauma.
triggering.
It's trauma.
It's so triggering.
it's 100% trauma.
So when you
and,
hear it's coming back up, it brings
it
these.
will only incite what you called me to be anger management, which makes no bloody sense. I'm gonna put that right back in your face again. But that's real.
yeah.
That's real anger.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see. Not guilty, mate. I mean, sorry, guilty.
This guy.
All right, what else we got? Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move along. Let's shuffle along to sport. And well, I would like to extend some
no.
condolences
I don't.
Oh no.
I don't.
to this guy.
I'm glad they lost.
Why are you glad they lost?
Well, I was sympathetic before, but now you go pew pew at me. I go pew pew at you back.
All right.
You guys had it. You guys actually
Okay,
had
listen.
it.
So
And
yes,
see, look, now he's in his
The N-
feels.
the NRL finale,
So what
Take
was
it
what was
away.
the final score again? I'm 26-24, right?
26-24. Yes,
This is still fresh, man.
the
This is still
the
fresh.
wound is still there.
It's too deep. The problem is this is not even the first cut. It's like the second cut, and it hurts even more.
All the fanfare is gone. Have you noticed? It's like the.
I mean,
the,
I've still got. Look, I've still
jersey.
got the jersey. Look, I'll still support him. I'll still
Of
support
course
him.
you will, because they did well. All
But-
things considering,
but-
they
okay.
did really well to turn around what was an atrocious few years. And I will say that as a
You were adjacent.
being by association and having to listen to this traitor constantly talk about this team, and he's not even
Traitor? What traitor?
You're not even from the state, bro.
Oh, whatever. I'm I came
it's
to this country.
State of origin. Oh yeah,
I
I'm
came into this
Queenslander.
country
Fucking
and I was a banana
like,
bender. All right,
oh
I'm not gonna.
Gosh, it's
that's irrelevant.
nauseating.
But
anyway,
but when you think about like losing a game, that's probably
that's pretty bad.
As bad as you get.
I saw the whole thing, and from the first try that they practically put in a box, they wrapped it up, put a bow on it. They even did a nice decorative card, and they slipped it in there, gave it to the Panthers, and then they just went for it. Things could have been so different if it's not for those lapses
wanna
of
think
judgment.
about it.
And then then you had the flurry of tries. Look
Ezra,
at me.
man.
Look at me talking about
Okay,
football, right?
well-
But then the flurry of tries.
How good was Ezra, man? How
And
good was
it was
Ezra,
it was
man?
amazing. It was amazing. And then it all just fell apart.
So a couple of
Like
things.
literally
'Cause this
slipping away.
it actually really hurts because as a Brisbane, I've seen this. We lost in Golden Point against the North Queensland. I can't. Like I'm triggered. We will go to the grand final next year, but I'm gonna get PTSD when it comes close because unfortunately that's how it's gonna be. But third time will be a charm. But to score 3 tries, a hat trick in a grand final and lose, there's got to be some. I wonder what they were paying for that. That's insane.
What do you mean paying for that?
I'm like, it's a joke, but what I mean is you don't often see someone score 3 tries, a hat trick.
Oh yeah, you're
in
like
a grand
a
finale.
game-winning performance on a losing team.
Yeah,
That's basically
I mean,
what I'm saying.
his performance was good enough to be a Clive Churchill on a losing team. I don't know if that's happened. I kind of think that has. I don't know. Maybe in State of Origin, but not in a grand final. But look, Penrith won, but you know the mannerisms when they say that player's clutch,
Yes, I do understand the statement of that.
and and they say it a lot in basketball, right?
Yes,
And why do you think they say it in basketball a lot?
because it's a gear that they
What is
move
that?
to.
What is that? It's a
It's a-
game of ball in net.
Yeah, because it's
Nah, I
clutches to do with
Well-
like
well,
a
clutch-
driving stick, right?
Oh my god, you could not have gotten so.
Isn't it like?
Yeah, but there's nothing. Okay, so
And then so they clutch because
So-
it's like going into a different gear.
I think look, it's definitely an American term. It's an American term, and I think the reason it's used so much in basketball is because in basketball, you have a singular player that gets hot in the fourth quarter that closes it off, right? That's just how it is, right?
Yeah, so
And-
they're the sixth gear.
and because and because the scoring is so individual centric, it can feel like one player is single-handedly winning a game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't say that. I know a lot of people have used that on other like sports, like in tennis. Oh, that's clutch. It's true.
That makes no sense,
It's
though,
true, but
because-
it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because of the dynamics of the game. I don't know what other games could form it, but it's usually a basketball term, right? And people for rugby have used that, right? When you say clutch, you say basically a player picks up at crunch time, right?
Yeah.
I hate flipping Nathan Curie. I hate this guy, right? He's such a boring ass player. But single-handedly, I have to give it to him. If you could label a clutch performance in the grand final, he single-handedly beat Penrith, didn't beat Brisbane. Nathan Cleary beat Brisbane, and apparently he was doing it on one leg. Apparently, like he
Well, yeah, he's
injured
out.
his leg.
He's out of the Australian team
The
now
tour.
because he's got to recover.
Kicked a 40-20, made a line break, score. Like, that is the epitome of clutch.
Nepotism at its greatest because his dad was a great kicker. That's all I remember.
Passed on.
Are you just trying to add in whatever you can out of context?
I'm really like, I sat out for that first section and I'm here now just trying to,
Ready to
but like,
go.
you know, make some ground up,
Oh
like
my
be
God.
a Panther in this situation, you know, and
But
I feel like I'm succeeding.
But yeah, so I just wanted to say, like, because moving away from the car metaphor you were trying to associate
you know,
with
It
it.
is.
No,
The clutch is the thing, by the way, not the gear stick.
Oh,
it's the one that you press
You
at the
initiate
top.
the clutch
The-
too.
the
Mate,
official
by association, I did okay there, right?
Yes, but I could see it. But the official definition, for clutch in sports
Yeah.
is clutch performance in sports is the phenomenon of athletes under pressure
Yeah.
or in the clutch.
Yeah.
This can happen in any part of the game and is a play that can have a profound effect on the outcome of
What's
the game.
the clutch though? How it was used in that sentence just then. What's the clutch?
It's not what's the clutch. It's
in the
it's
clutch.
in the
it's to-
clutch. What's the clutch?
Well, when they say clutch, it just basically means you have
Your
the
Urban
ability
Dictionary clutch,
to,
please.
to perform under pressure. Look,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but Nathan Cleary equals clutch. Like in NRL, like that performance, you want to understand what clutch is? He did 3 winning plays that basically brought them from the brink.
Yeah.
Okay? We had that damn fucking grand final. All right? Now you're making me angry about this. Now I'm getting all heated up.
Oh, yeah.
About
What is
anger
with that?
issues.
Oh yeah, anger management. Yeah.
All right. Okay. But okay, so simmer down,
simmer-
simmer
yeah.
down,
Yeah,
simmer
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Brisbane will be fine. Okay, we'll be fine. I
Get
said
that
this.
Master Chef pot going.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Listen. Michael Jordan had to go against the Detroit Pistons how many times in a row before they won it? So they'll be fine as long as they keep Reece Walsh and Ezra Mam together. Those guys are studs. And they keep the nucleus there. They've signed Payne House. They'll be fine. But this is an interesting one. So Adam Reynolds, who we affectionately call...
Chubby.
That's our thing, by the way. He's not chubby. He's probably... He's well. He had a bit of a shocker of a game, right? Like the first...
Well, he tore his groin, right?
Well, yeah, he
he
tweaked.
did.
He
No
tweaked.
joke, mate. He's like, that's
he
what
tweaked.
they-
I was going to say he twerked it. It didn't look like he was tweaking.
We can't
Okay.
stop.
He tweaked it. He had a poor game. And unfortunately, he probably one of his worst games of the season.
Choked?
The worst time. No, let's not say choked. Like, and that's the difference between clutch and that. The dropouts were terrible. Like the short dropouts, you saw me. I was pulling my hair. Why?
Oh,
would
he was so
It
stressed.
was really
It's
bad.
like, why are you doing
Why
that?
are we doing short dropouts?
Why are you doing
Obviously,
that?
the first dropout, off the short dropout, they scored it. Ridiculous. You've never seen him try like that at the grand final. But their calls off that one game, people are saying that he should retire. Like, how overblown is
Oh
that?
no!
How-
This is where it gets really, really ugly, right? This sense of entitlement with
From
the
fans,
general
yeah.
public that just want to attack.
Okay, can I say
for
one
such
thing?
a really like. I'd love to see you try.
Yeah.
You know?
The general... Gordon Tallis is saying this. No, not the general public. I'll tell you why.
But
so,
what is he? He
He's-
was
he's an
a
ex-Bronco. He's an
was
ex-Bronco.
a hold on, let me get this right. A front row.
forward. Yeah, he was a forward. Yeah. Look at you, so happy about
Gold star.
Good one. Yeah. High five. We're getting somewhere. But okay, I'm baiting. I'm gonna give a little bit of context. So Ezra Mam, who the 3-try hero,
Yeah.
he's off contract.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's gonna demand a lot of money, right?
Yeah, get that paper.
Reece Walsh, like
Cost per try.
the superstar, he's going to demand a lot of money. So what's going to happen is we've already lost two big players, right? And Tom Fegler and Herbie Farnworth, right? Is they're saying that if they pay Adam Reynolds decent money, they're going to lose one of these young guys. So what he's basically saying is Adam Reynolds is a great player, but you can't sign him at the offset of potentially losing some of the younger players. So that is the context of it. And there is some validity in it. And I think the interesting thing is I think Reynolds he's going to he's going to end up coaching the Broncos. I really think so. I think later on, he's developed a good rapport there, and you can kind of see that transition there. But this one hurts, man. This one really hurts. We'll be back.
What the heck does Gordon Tallis even do? Like, he's not
He's
even
a commentator. Leave Gordy alone, man.
But he's like, is he on like Fox? Is he on Fox
yeah,
Sports?
he's a commentator.
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
You know what's like my endearing visual of Gordon Tallis? Do you remember when State of Origin he lifted that guy by the collar and just threw him like a thing?
It was the original Hulk and Loki before
he
like
the whole,
yeah.
I'm sorry, he looks a bit like a Neanderthal, but like in a good way. No, he'll say it himself.
His words, mate.
He'll say it himself in a good
Not
way.
mine.
The other enduring audio of Gordon Tallis is I remember when he used people used to yell in State of Origin in Sydney because I used to go to the games. Gordy, your mum's a rig.
Yes,
You remember that?
I remember this. Oh my gosh!
Can you tell me?
Yeah, that's pretty.
No, but what does that mean if I say your mum's a rig? She's not pretty. Like is that effectively?
I think that's the connotation.
Is that the most?
What have we got?
What is Urban Dictionary saying? Your mum's a rig.
Yeah, but that's like more of like it has to be an Australian term.
Yeah, I've
right?
never heard of anyone say as an insult, "Your mum's a rig." Does that mean
R-I-G?
Yeah, I think so. Does that mean she's built? Is she buff? Isn't that a good thing? I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's not a thing. It is not a thing. Is there an Urban Dictionary for Australians?
The expression
Your
Cat's
face.
face is just like.
All right, guys, I can't fact check this one.
I don't know because it says apparently there is like rig in Australian slang.
Is what?
What you usually use to point out to your mates the finer qualities of a female passerby, like, but it's saying a rig as in a noun, right?
But the way they're saying it is as a put down, right? Like, go to your mom's. They're not saying that your mom has a rig. Maybe they are. What? Hey, maybe Gordon Tallis' mum's a hottie. Can we just do that?
Okay. 1 moment, caller.
Yeah.
So,
What's one of them?
according to Macquarie Dictionary, Australian word map.
Yeah.
This is a contributor, so let's clarify on that.
It would have to be a contributor, I think.
It is reference to an oil rig, which is obviously huge.
Fuck.
The contributor says usually used to point out to your mates the finer qualities
Yeah,
of
I
a
just
female.
said that.
She just said that.
I just read that one.
She's got it.
Okay,
Sorry.
Could we Google? Maybe Gordon Tallis' mom's a hottie. Like, maybe we're missing the whole point. Maybe she is a rig.
Okay, SMH in 2002.
Yeah.
Yo, dictionary, your mum's a rig. And she brown noses? What?
Okay. Well, I think we've gotten way out of course here.
This is
the general consensus that I keep seeing is that it's
a good thing, right? Like-
Beautiful or attractive female. Your mom's a rig.
So maybe
Compliment.
Maybe.
Okay,
could you
hold
just
on.
type in
Hold
I
on.
want to see if
Hold
she's
on.
a hottie.
Hold on.
I
Wait.
want to see if she's a hottie.
a schoolboy known only as Scott painted the word rig on a sign he displayed during the State of Origin rugby league match on the Wednesday. The sign prompted an angry outburst from Gordon Tallis, the Queensland captain, perhaps because teammate Lottie Takiri said the sign read, Gordy's mum's bleeping pig. In fact, it said, Gordy, your mum's a rig.
What the? I still
Scott
don't get it.
apologized to Tallis, saying that he meant the captain's mother was a big, dominating feature like Gordon himself.
I'm sorry, man. You know,
So surely this comes from your mum, right? That's what that's coming from, right? It's your mum.
I think we gotta find a photo of Gordy's mom. Maybe she's a hottie.
To determine.
Maybe she's a baddie. We don't know this. We don't. She could have been when she. I mean, if you look at it now, why are we looking? I was just a joke.
Well, her name is Judy.
Yeah, good name, Judy.
All right.
Judy's a solid name.
Oh, bless.
Well, look at Judy when she was younger, man. You can't look at it now.
I think we're going down a very
we're going down a weird rabbit hole.
very
It's
weird rabbit hole. Look, audience, you can search for yourself.
You can search
if
for
you
it
really
yourself.
want
This
to.
went down a
She
weird
seems
rabbit hole.
lovely.
She is lovely.
And she seems like no, sorry, she doesn't seem like she did not need any of that chat.
I might
Yes.
cut. I might cut this
No
section
one should say those things about your mom. So that's
Anyway, what
Don't
do we got?
insult your moms,
Let's get up.
guys.
What do we got? Let's move on.
So
Look at how sad.
let's pack up the NRL chat. There's always next
so
year,
bad
Kev.
for her now.
There's always next year, Kev. We'll see.
We'll get there.
Alrighty. Okay, all right, let's move on to tech, especially a particular app that has been taking the internet.
What's the
throughout
next
this
latest tech that I don't know about? Oh my gosh.
All right, well, this one in particular is an app from the company Epik with a K at the end. And
Original.
yeah. So they are the latest app that is an AI generating sort of image editor sort of app. And so the target of it is that it creates these nostalgic yearbook photos of particular people, or like people can use the app to make it of themselves. And so it's basically it swept the internet. So for example,
I'm assuming when they say yearbook, it's like American
yearbook with
Or-
with the blue background.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So
Like the school photos, right? That's what you mean. Like a
Well, we call it school photos, but they
but
call it
they
the
call it yearbook
yearbook.
photos.
look at this photograph.
Because whoa, Nickelback.
Let's talk about a yearbook, surely.
Yeah. So yeah,
I could make so many jokes right now. I'm going to refrain from doing so. Anyway,
so for example, some of the celebrities that jumped onto it, like Bretman Rock, Laura DIY, Kiki Palmer. I'll show you the quality of what the photos are meant to be.
it looks.
So-
They
So
look
that's AI.
They look
Yes,
so good.
that's
It freaks me out.
And then it was funny because
It is cartoony though. I mean, like it is realistic.
It's, you know what? It gets it's a little glimpse of like those '80s type of photos
because
where
there's like a gloss, like
and it's
a
like
glimmer to
yeah,
it.
and even like the hairstyle of it, it feels like even though it feels quite authentically now,
It could still be
there is that
the classic sort of
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
And then Kiki Palmer did a version where she's a guy, and so
it works.
and that's why she posted it. So
Good hat, actually. I want that.
So, so yeah, it's very interesting. But so the reason why I've pointed out Kiki Palmer's particular example
Yeah.
is because on the internet, especially on Twitter, people were sort of getting up in arms about her posting these photos. And since then, I believe she's taken them down
Yeah.
on Twitter because obviously with this sort of app, people just want to play with it, right? They
Yeah.
just want to test it out. Be like, oh, look, it's a funny photo. Oh, it looks almost real.
The narcissism comes out, right?
Uncanny Valley sort of thing. But this is where it crossed into the sort of territory of AI being harmless versus there's a sort of it's breaching a sort of role because people are up in arms towards Kiki Palmer because currently the SAG strike is still going.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest issues is that they're trying to limit how AI can take actors' likeness without their permission.
Yeah.
And so this sort of sparked the whole thing that like people are getting upset towards Kiki Palmer, but obviously with this app it's just meant to be
Because it seems harmless, right? But principle to what is going on in the greater context, you kind of like, wait, what are you doing? Because if you've got actors that are apparently being pulled into a room, I think we talked about this in a previous episode where
Yes.
they had to get photos taken and them not knowing what it was for, but then the images could be used in AI to then
in
push
future
out
projects without actually having
and
to
push out
hire
other
actors.
content that didn't need to be filmed because obviously the cost and implications of if they needed to reshoot stuff, right? And then there's the likes of dead celebrities like
Yes.
signing off their likeness to be used
or
in
being used
in future, which is weird, right? Because it's like prosperity. Posterity. Sorry.
you're there. You're there.
Yeah, but in like your legacy and how big, especially old Hollywood stars were of that time, and then how they could be used in future. Even the likes when it came to like the hologram usage of like Tupac and all that stuff, right? It's a bit of a weird.
There's an ethical line.
How long will you live and be famous for? And do you really like want? I don't know. There's so like the use of AI and what it could possibly do. Like even the likes of like sorry to be unsavory, but like, the likes of like generative porn and all of that stuff where it's out of use and all that stuff, right? Like it gets pretty
that's the worst
pretty
of it
gnarly,
at the moment.
right?
Deep
like,
fakes, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Like
and it's very unfortunate. Like that's the biggest.
It's pretty scary out there. Yeah.
So now, especially like I know again, it's prefaced as a harmless app, but it's the approach towards AI and the fact that just using it simply is helping to train it, to improve it, because it's just constantly evolving to a very scary extent.
What was I vaguely remember like this factoid from, I can't remember where I was listening like to it, but essentially they were talking about how AI models at the moment are favored towards, well, are over indexed towards like Caucasian people.
What models?
Look, I'm gonna need to get back to be honest. I just remember this vaguely from somewhere I was listening to, and it's the intake of other ethnicities is actually behind, and that's why when there was this meme that was going on in maybe it was like a month ago, where people would generate like photos, like a 9 grid photo of them. Like,
I think I saw like
as if it was like like Google, like when you have to go on Google and you have to say, oh, which one of these is the pizza and all of that stuff,
Yes.
right? But then it's like it shows you different versions of yourself, but it looks really warped and really bizarre.
Yeah.
And they were saying that it's with other ethnicities, because they don't have as much I guess inputs to be able to form like a realistic picture, it gets really strange.
Yes. Yes.
It's just interesting, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like the app is still available. People are still using it.
It's free.
hopping
It's
on
free
the
to use,
trends.
obviously, right?
Oh, there's some.
Who is it? Is it the Russians that have got it?
Who's got all our faces? Well, wasn't that?
Is it China?
Well, yeah, the app is free to download. It costs between $6 to $10, depending on.
Problem is, the outputs that it creates looks great. Like they look good.
Sorry, what's it called again?
Epik with a K AI photo yearbook. Just search that up, basically.
Honestly, the more I think the more these things come out, like we've already seen versions of this out. Remember, like, was it Snapchat? I don't know who was doing that filter where you'd take a photo and it would show how you'd look when you were older.
Or opposite gender and all that stuff.
Yeah, the opposite gender ones were.
No.
I mean, like, it's already like those are like lo-fi versions of that which have already been out there, and people gladly, hop on that trend to easily give their data. Like, it's being trained, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's already being trained.
It's
Train of thought.
It's really
how profound.
how we have to hone in like the use of AI, because for example, like we use AI in general, for example, like spell checking or
Grammar.
for me, like in Photoshop,
Not yet sponsored.
and like in Photoshop, there's
Could be.
the opportunity that you can auto blend, or you can
Yeah.
fill in something based on using the AI within the program. But like AI is inevitable, but it's just a matter of like
Use case.
being able to, we have to control its growth before obviously like it's going to look to get out of hand. And like we're not just talking about robots, we're just talking about how all these little programs and how much we're putting of our data into there as well.
I think the irony is like we're going to like give those keys ourselves.
Without even knowing.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think even with
it's
knowing,
already
we don't
begun.
care. Like it's a Trojan horse. It's already happening. Again, like if that app was free, as an example, how many more people, like so much more people would use it? Like it looks so good. Like,
and little celebrities,
like you would use it.
Yeah,
It looks really
If
good.
it was free, people would gladly use it, like easily. Like so, I think like unfortunately, just due to like our nature, that's why they've just got to try and find a way to embrace it, because I think like that's always a challenge with it. With that tech, which everyone, you want to try and get a competitive advantage, people are going to use it in different sort of ways. But anyway,
and
I think it's going to be a constant story, right?
And exactly. And a matter of, I guess, the public in general, we just have to be vigilant. Like, make sure to question something if, like, is this actually AI? Is this real? but it's getting
They're
crazy.
getting very hard, actually.
Yes, like recently, actually, I saw this tweet where it was this photo of a crocodile and a pizza, and people were talking about how
a pizza, man.
it looked very real, but then it's like for the eagle-eyed viewers, or like they notice that something's off with the pizza shading, for example.
Well, firstly, how is a pizza and a crocodile? Like, contextually,
Yes.
those don't make sense.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, you would start with that,
I
but
love the detail. It's like
It-
the new. It's the new spot. The
wait a
difference.
it's
second.
it's a new
Wait
or
a
in general.
second.
That pepperoni does not sit right on that.
Or just
Pretty-
in general, like photoshopping, how people
I'm-
would be like, that does not look like it's right on there.
Yeah.
If
And-
I were a crocodile, would I order quattro fungi?
It's
I'd
like
be meat lovers. It has to be a meat
that
lovers.
crocodile looks like too snatched at the waist or something like that because
Exactly.
yeah, it's all warped and
it's-
whatnot.
Or people being like, that's an alligator, thank you very much. Not a crocodile.
Get your facts right.
That's right. And people mentioning as well how AI is especially dangerous towards like like artists, because people were noticing that now AI particular generated pictures, like they're getting better at hands, because hands used to be the giveaway of how they draw, of how AI would generate hands. That's the giveaway of how you could tell that's a fake image
didn't know
or
that.
not.
There's so like
didn't even know
there's
that.
so many of them
I don't
where
even
they
look
just
at-
look so
I don't even look at photos of hands. See,
bizarre.
Even Chauncey's like freaked out about this. Like,
Yeah, man. The think of all those hand models that are getting out of the business. They're like, I'm going to take all my photos.
Of the hands.
I want to
on
be
my
a hand
hands.
model, man.
Yes.
You're not getting my hands.
Exactly.
Don't you touch my hands.
All right,
Exactly. But anyway, to the general audience, like, I guess we just got to be careful with the AI out there.
Don't photograph your hands, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go
Don't let
analog.
him see your hands.
Go analog. Get your DSLRs.
Get it all out. Even those.
All right. Well, yeah, there you go. All right, let's wrap it up soon with the final topic, where we're taking it to TV land, especially,
Yo.
well, to our general audience. Like, who else has been watching Ahsoka? Everyone raised their
Ahsoka.
hand.
I'm really wanting to recite the theme song, but
It's not coming.
it's
doesn't
not.
slap.
It's not as
doesn't-
memorable as
It doesn't
Mandalorian.
slap as much as like.
Okay. We can't start by the Ashoka review by like talking about Mando.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, it's
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
He-
Ashonka.
Because of Chance.
No, I say Ashoka. Ahsoka. Who cares? There's a H there. Yeah, we get it.
Well, you know.
Okay, okay.
Are you a Star Wars fan? Like,
What do you think about it? What do you think about it? You like it?
No,
it
it-
heated up, right?
it was a slow burn at the start.
Very slow.
Yes.
I think,
Very
but
slow.
obviously, I tend to question myself when I think that, because are you being predispositioned to a sense of like the speed of like storytelling and stuff, and that's why it's like not to labor on this point too much, but it's like, you know, the art of having to establish so much in a period of time. And it's that bit of, you know, what does the audience kind of want? But then I guess the artist's view of, you know, how they want to be able to tell that story
And adapt it.
and all of that jazz. So it was a slow start, not going to lie. But then it started to pick up.
It was really good. The last couple of episodes
When
were
the
really
action was happening, and then obviously your boy Anakin is there, and
Yeah, boy.
good. Yeah, let's talk about Anakin. But you obviously didn't watch Clone Wars and the cartoons, the New Republic, right?
nah. Well, it's
So
not my
Clone
jam.
Wars is so good.
Here we
Like
go.
people, no,
We've lost him.
If people have watched, have you watched Clone Wars?
No, I'm not as up into it.
All they need to do is remake Clone Wars like exactly with like actual actors, and it'll pop. That's how good Clone Wars was.
But
at the time.
do you think the je ne sais quoi of it all?
No, of course
was
not.
Like,
it still needs to be animated. Yeah.
Was that? In
I think it's
animated
of the
form?
time, but obviously Ashoka was like Anakin's Padawan, right? Like a lot, like they had I don't know, 5-6 seasons, or I can't even remember. So that character got developed very well. So for those people that watch it, they knew what they were kind of getting into, right? Like I'd be intrigued to see how many people have watched it with that context, and how many people have watched it without, and if that really changes. Yeah, but like if that dramatically changes how you kind of view it. But you're right. But like, what was the last Star Wars? Mandalorian was the last one, right?
The previous season.
Yeah, previous season, Mandalorian.
Or Andor as well. I think it was between
Andor.
the two.
Yeah, but it
Andor
was
was
Mando
awesome.
before, and Andor was like
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah.
I only say that because I felt like, well, actually, I really liked that season of Mando, but the last 3 episodes of Mandalorian was like dialed to 12, right? Do you remember the action sequences, like in
Yeah.
the bloody Mandalorian Kingdom or
Mandalore.
like Mandalore. but what I mean is Ahsoka felt like that, right? Like when the sequences got like. As a character, is she a character you can get behind?
Yeah, she's badass, man. Like
Dual lightsabers is where it's at.
she's badass, and like excellent casting with Rosario Dawson.
Especially because I believe Rosario Dawson has been a long time fan cast
Yeah.
for that character for like many years.
Yeah. Could you imagine if she lost it out to hold on. Oh, I forgot her name.
Was it another Hispanic
I
actress?
forgot her name. Bloody
What's the role?
she was in Avatar.
Oh, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana, sorry. Yeah. Can you imagine if you lost out to her? Because they're on, that same
sort of
typecast type of vibe and everything
sci-fi
like that.
role.
But
And
killing it. Rosario Dawson killing it.
And also a fun fact how I saw in some of the interviews especially during the Anakin episode, where it's Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen, like they knew each other since like acting school.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because they were like the darlings in the like late 90s, early 2000s, right? When they were like, well, one, Star Wars was actually happening.
Yes.
But even why is the first movie that came into my mind is the Josie and the Pussycats for Rosario Dawson? I don't know why. I haven't even seen it. But anyway, you get the drift, right?
Yes.
She's been in a lot of
She's
stuff.
been around.
She's been around. But sorry, going back to the character, hell yeah, I can get behind it. And I do realize as I was watching like the final episodes of it, it's like this is the first of the in the Star Wars where it's the first like the female
More of the
forward.
characters are coming because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Sabine Wren was a
Yeah.
big deal.
She's a badass too, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
rocking the pixie cut.
How did you react when we saw what were the memories when Anakin first came back?
You, Kat, do you want to go?
Okay, because well, especially following Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan show. It's
Hey
like,
man, Obi-Wan was trash, eh?
no, I enjoyed
You
it.
enjoyed it?
I enjoyed Obi.
I think we've got to rewatch it because we went to Europe when we watched it. Remember? You can't even remember. Yeah,
Were
we
we?
were. We were.
No, I do remember. I think I don't know.
We'll do a power rankings of like a thing because
Later on.
I think for me Obi is the lot.
I think it was just hyped up in my head.
It was hyped up.
Yes.
It was
Anyway,
hyped
sorry,
up.
Kat. We'll go back to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
but,
your reaction when we saw the
because-
old Anakin.
Because especially like the whole Anakin thing at the moment has been riding on the fact that people who loved like the prequels, who actually loved the prequels, have become more vocal. Hayden Christensen has spoken at length about being welcomed back in
Yeah.
a sense, being embraced more.
Yeah.
So I believe it was inevitable because I sort of know vaguely that the fact that Ahsoka and Anakin were like important characters that were linked together.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it's pretty cool, it's pretty badass. And then I remember seeing a lot of breakdowns of other fans like freaking out because, oh, you got reference to Clone Wars in terms of what Anakin was wearing.
Yeah.
And then he basically had the same hair as from like Revenge of the Sith and all that. And so I was like, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm sure more like connected fans with the material were, like, losing their minds more.
That's what's fascinating about kind of seeing Star Wars through the generations, right?
Yeah.
Because your OGs will be loyal to the original
stuff.
series.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the prequels came, I do remember
Everyone hated them.
it just felt
during the time.
too like it was too futuristic, but not like
Yes.
and Jar Jar Binks and like
we need a sideshow for Jar Jar.
Can you imagine?
No one's gonna watch that.
man, it'd be amazing. But then also I would say Hayden Christensen at that
Leave
point
him
of
alone.
time was very wooden.
Leave him alone. It
Yeah,
was all right.
like yes.
They were all wooden,
Like,
dude.
look, don't get me wrong. Like when I see him now, and I'm thinking of like actors in the
90s, like
actors in
that
the
time.
'90s. Like
They're all wooden.
who else was it going to be? Like
Yes.
the casting did make sense, but there wasn't just like.
I'm sorry. I just remembered. I don't like sand. That just came up in my mind.
And it's all of those like random little scenes where it's just like, What is he? What
no,
are these choices?
He found his strides during Revenge of the Sith. I
Yeah.
believe. Yes.
Yeah, but then even seeing him pop up there,
It's nostalgic. It's a
there's
really
the
nice
pang of
kick.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
There's the like it's like, oh wow, but there's like, what did they do to your face? Like, are you
'Cause
trying
they
to
have
be?
to
Are
sort
you
of
trying to be
tweak it.
younger or older? I don't know
Older,
what's
young.
going on.
No, because
like,
okay, well, the time, well, in this show, the period that they saw him was the Clone Wars period. So he's old. I mean, he looks older.
no,
than that.
hold on. He was on the sorry spoilers for anyone who's
Yeah.
not
Well, if you're watching the review, it's definitely spoiled.
But like, so they're on the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Where Ahsoka nearly died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His face was older then. 'cause
It
that
was
was
older.
that was post. That's like he's obviously dead, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
So but like not the crispy version of himself. The
Pre Darth Vader,
yeah.
but going to the
And
dark
then they
side.
went to what
The
clone
flashbacks,
What
basically.
Clone War
Clone
was
Wars.
it?
Well, the Clone Wars is
Like,
used to
which-
describe a period.
which
It's not a
one was
singular
it?
war. Like the flashback-
Anyway, point being,
They
when
went-
it was,
they went-
and then when
then they de-aged
they
him
went back to flashbacks
at that point, right? Yeah.
well, and change the hairstyle to look. Yeah.
The hair is always the quip,
Yeah.
isn't it? Where
Get
it's
the
just
wigs.
like
Get the wigs. Yeah.
Yeah.
they keep it neat and tight because the length will show the unwavering rigor of time and the how time has been so cruel to you.
But he still whipped out his favorite move with the saber behind his back and then going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think out of all like the Star Wars, apart from Mandalorian, which everyone just loves, obviously, this one has like
Yeah. We're repping right there.
the baby. This one has the most legs because in Clone Wars, Ahsoka had such a following, and it makes sense. There's such a dynamic between those two, and they're pulling on that thread of her being like Anakin or like that. You know what I mean? Like can possibly going down that path, and you can see in times that she's fighting with not that, but as a Jedi, she left the Jedi kingdom, right? Because she didn't believe, she got disillusioned along the way of the fight.
Yeah.
You can see that there. So I think it bodes well. But I found we had a chat about this. Some of the action sequences stiff. I don't know.
The
Like, it felt a bit
choreography,
stiff.
like the choreography, they probably needed a bit more time to like
A bit
prep
more pizzazz. Yeah.
because some of it felt like it's like pulling the punch, right? But it
Yes.
felt that the flow of it, or it felt really rehearsed, as in like, I'm gonna hit this, then I'm gonna do that, and that type of
Not
thing.
as natural as it could be, but I mean.
But it's funny because
Yeah.
like, have you seen? I think like we don't see a lot of those, the behind the scenes, because Disney Plus has that, right? Like
I'm sure they'll release the. I'm
But
sure
no,
they'll
they already
release
have
it.
it. But what I mean
Making
is they
of,
played a lot of emphasis on the lightsaber scene. Lightsaber scene. I felt like the one-on-one fights were good.
Oh, were good.
Against the Witch was great.
Again,
Like, that was-
Rosario is a
yeah.
baddie when it comes to the.
But when they had like multiple against stormtroopers, it looked very like weird.
Wait a minute. We're missing the most important thing. Zombie stormtroopers.
Well, again, I've watched Clone Wars. So I've
Nah,
seen
that was like
I've seen that.
I literally told Kev, I was like,
Wait, there's zombies.
wait, what's going on? When do they die? Like what's going on? This is no bueno. Like
Okay. Park Ashoka, top 3 of the latest ones in order. Like one being the
are we
best.
talking movies or just the TV
No.
shows?
The latest TV shows,
Okay.
which goes from, it's basically Mandalorian, Andor, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Ashoka. Am I missing? I think
that's it.
that's
it.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of these ones, what are your top 3 in order? Obviously, it's Mandalorian at the top. I would
Yep.
assume.
Yeah.
What's the second?
Yeah.
What's the other?
Cool.
I think
I think Ashoka.
I don't know if I put Ahsoka third or second.
It depends on the day you're asking, right?
So what's-
because look,
think-
contrary to your opinion,
You really liked Obi-Wan.
no, Andor.
I don't like Andor.
Andor, yeah.
Andor's second season was
I think
whoa.
when you talk to when I talk to a lot of people, you either like it, like
Or-
really like
yes.
it, or hate it. And to me, I'm firmly in the hate. Like,
Why-
I can't get behind the character.
Why hate?
Can't get behind the character.
I think
Are you against your own people?
Mexicans.
No, just
I like tacos, man.
Just immigrants moving to another world.
Hey.
Trying
No,
to...
because what I like about Andor is because I mean, of course,
Diego Luna.
of course, Diego Luna and the commentary, about people trying to find safety in a dictatorship. It's just I like it more when Star Wars tries to veer away more from the Skywalker saga. Like there's still so much richness that there could be in the Star Wars universe, and so like this is similar to Rogue One, for example. Like people put aside Rogue One because it's not connected to the Skywalker saga in the movies.
I like the Rogue One movie, but I couldn't get behind Andor though.
So it's like similar with Rogue One and Andor. It's just giving a perspective on more of what you would call the everyday people in the Star Wars universe. And so I'm excited for this. Meant to be another season for Andor. And then we're just going to see more of the story unfold.
Andy Serkis is gone, yeah? I'm trying to remember what happened to him. He didn't make it, eh?
He didn't make it, but apparently Andy Serkis said a teasing answer, but he's probably gone.
That was devastating. I'll never forget that scene. I'm just like, bro can't swim.
Yes, yeah.
Bro can't swim.
Okay, wait, we didn't answer it. So number one is Mando. What's number two?
Oh... It's
Ahsoka.
I think Ahsoka.
I think it's Ahsoka. By default, almost.
Yeah.
But then what's the third?
Andor's 3 for me.
Andor's 3, yeah. And like, because Obi-Wan is more of just a standalone, so to speak.
There's not the second one, right? No, there isn't, because he's defeated Vader, right?
Yeah, I don't think that there's going to be a second season.
And Boba Fett is just Boba Fett, right?
Boba Fett was a Trojan horse for Mando.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because people
you don't have to feel bad. It is what it is. There's no more Boba Fett as well, right?
People were talking about how, like, they were laughing that
it just became
people who are watching season 3 are going to be like, wait, when did he get Grogu back? And it's like you have to watch this other show to realize how.
Okay, if they have one more story arc to create, and they're going to create multiples, obviously, in the Star Wars universe, what do you think it's going to be? Like,
Kat, I'm going to defer to you because I don't know.
To me, it's the Mandalorians. They've got more than enough to.
Oh, you mean in that?
Yeah.
sense.
Sorry, like
Sorry, Kat, you go.
Well, I thought that they're still gonna try to put more towards like the Star Wars Rebels characters, right? That were in Ahsoka.
Yeah, they are. Rebels is Sabine and Ezra.
Yeah.
Like those guys.
Yeah. Sorry. Like
the cartoons. You haven't watched the cartoons.
No, I get it. No, but it's just like, even if I'm thinking about Ahsoka, how it ended, it's like it was. I quickly read some like articles online post its release, and they were saying like, what does this mean? Second season hasn't been announced yet. What does this mean?
It just means that they haven't created yet.
It's like, oh, so they're just stuck. Sorry, Kat. They're just stuck on that place. It's like, Ezra, get your girl. Like, what's going on?
He knows where that place is, though.
Exactly, but then it's like,
I mean, we know where it's gonna go.
We will be with the faux turtles.
What I'm more
Who are really cute, by the way.
Like Chauncey's. What I'm more interested in is where these mercenaries fit in, because they clearly fit in somewhere. It just doesn't. Like the main guy looks like a pseudo Vader. Like
I love how it's just like. It's like just looking. Everyone is just looking into the nothingness to show what is to come.
Where does aged George Clooney fit in?
Oh, it's not aged George Clooney. It's more like Swedish George Clooney.
I think that actor, he's passed away anyway. So
What?
Are we talking about the same character? Hold on, what's his name?
No, you wouldn't. Can't.
You said the one with the beard, and he's with the blonde girl.
Yeah.
In Ahsoka. I believe that guy's passed away before the show premiered.
What?
Oh, that's really sad.
Because he was also in Marvel. That's where I remember that actor.
Who was he?
Hold on. He was in the Thor movies.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
He was sort of a background.
That makes sense, like a Nordic type of,
Let's hold on.
Jeez, that's morbid.
Oh, that's really sad, actually. He was looking into
Ray Stevenson, who played Balin, right?
Yeah.
Ray Stevenson. I believe he passed away earlier this year. In May.
Well, hopefully
before the show started.
Well, hopefully he did not get his photos taken and then get used to used for AI to fill
without permission
fill a plot hole.
What if he does it and then his family gets compensated? That's not the worst thing.
Well, that's up for them to decide.
Yeah,
What
they
I
can
mean is like
decide.
they are used. Well, how do we go back to AI? I'm out.
I'm just applying the
And
conversations.
I'm saying it can be used.
The things
if
that I've
we
learned
if we figure
to
out the
make up
parameters.
time for the first segment because
All right,
because I was accused of anger management.
still the fact that you're not letting it go shows a bit of.
Says the pot calling kettle black. I would say right there.
All right, that was good.
Yeah, that's good.
That was good.
So more Star Wars to come, obviously. I mean, Disney's gonna keep beating that horse until it goes.
beat it,
Well,
bro.
while Dave Filoni's also there as well.
Because they've got like Star Wars is at a pretty good spot for them.
Yeah, with Jon Favreau as well. 'cause they're the main
Because
headline.
like Marvel got to figure their shit out, right?
at the moment, with
yeah.
this phase,
And
once,
it's just-
once they go back to work.
And then what else have we got? Like, oh well, there's going to be live action Disney stuff.
Yeah, that's also another
Yeah.
horse that they're beating. And it feels like with a lot of the live adaptions, we get further away from God on some of them. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on some of them.
I wasn't expecting it to go down that way, but I appreciate the hot take, Kat.
In some of them, not the Little Mermaid, but some other ones. So anyway,
All right.
that's what I've got there. All right, well,
Let's wrap it up.
that was episode 19.
Episode 19 is
Episode 19.
wrapped up with really
Make
morbid
sure
things.
make sure to leave a comment. What are your thoughts on
Like,
all what that we
subscribe.
discussed today? Make sure to like, subscribe, share to your friends, ring the bell,
Ring
so
that
that you can know when
bell.
we have a new video uploaded.
Tell us your thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
And look
Being
out
the
for our Spotify link as well. You can listen to the episode in audio, like
Dulcet tones.
exactly.
I'm doing some ASMR.
Oh no! Oh no! And so yeah. Otherwise, everyone, hope you have a good one.
Just peace. Bye.
Bye.